from New York. We're now learning that on the sidelines of the 80th session of the UNGA, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov and his Indian counterpart Lavrov Jaishankar have held discussions focused on preparations for the upcoming Russia-India summit scheduled for the end of the year. The two leaders addressed important international and regional issues, including the ongoing war in Ukraine and developments in the Israeli-Hamas conflict. Both ministers emphasized their commitments to strengthening the special strategic partnership between Russia and India. They also, in fact, agreed to enhance cooperation within multilateral organizations such as the G20, BRICS, and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, underscoring the importance of collaborative efforts on the global stage. With us on the broadcast is Ambassador Suresh Goyal, former Indian diplomat, joining us from New Delhi. Thank you for taking our time speaking to us on NewsX World. Interesting bilateral meeting on the sidelines of the UNGA. That's not the only thing that India has done. In fact, Dr. Jaishankar also chaired and India also hosted a meeting of the BRICS nations on the sidelines. What do you make of this posturing by India in New York?
Well, it's not merely posturing, but I think I would really call it in terms of redefining or realigning India's relations in the world, which has changed quite drastically over the last couple of months, particularly since January, after the USA elections and after the changes that we have seen coming from the USA in terms of its own policies, international policies. Uh, and therefore, I think in terms of our own emphasis on multipolarity of the world and in terms of our own strategic autonomy, it became important to uh, go to discuss the whole gamut of relations with Russia once again. I think there is a huge content already in the relationship. Energy in form of oil is only one. Defense, we have common interest in Antarctica and food security. There are so many issues that we need to discuss together really in this world. So, and mind you, one more thing, Putin doesn't travel very often these days. And therefore, if is coming to India for a summit meeting, that I think is by itself is huge, not only in optics, but also in terms of messaging to the world. Yes, yes, Priya.
Absolutely. And Ambassador Goyal, a quick follow-up to that as well. Since the UNGA general debate is underway, we do expect Dr. Jaishankar to be speaking on the floor later today itself. What are your expectations from his speech, considering the fact that the war in the Middle East, Russia, Ukraine has taken center stage as well? We've in fact heard the Pakistanis come out and once again level ridiculous allegations against India.
I really wouldn't know what EAM Jaishankar's speech would cover, but having known him before, I can only just make a guess because Mr. Jaishankar is more a strategist, really. He thinks through larger issues, he thinks through framework, and therefore, my expectation would be that his speech would be really talking about the kind of structure of the relationship that India looks at in the coming days, coming years. That is again going to focus on the situation in Middle East. But more than that, really, it is going to be talking about how India sees the world changing and how India looks at the relationship, its major relationships, including the USA, including Russia, its role that it plays in the plurilateral organizations, BRICS, BIMSTEC, but I think BRICS and SCO, G20, Global South, those were the kind of issues which I think would really give an overall structure to what we have in mind in terms of Indian role, if I can put it this way, Indian role in the changing world.
All right,
Yes.
sir. With that, I would like to thank you for taking out time, sharing your analysis with us on NewsX World. Viewers, more news coming in. The United Nations Security Council has rejected a resolution proposed by China and Russia to delay the reimposition of sanctions on Iran. Now, Russia's Deputy Ambassador Dmitry Polyansky has rejected the UK and France's claims about the snapback mechanism as invalid. Listen in.
Господин председатель, что касается заявления Великобритании и Франции, что они якобы запустили снэпбэк, то мы категорически не признаем их состоятельность и много раз подробно излагали наши аргументы, в частности, в распространенном совместном письме министров иностранных дел России, Китая и Ирана от 28 августа.
Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi declared that Tehran will never bow to Western pressure. Take a look.
Iran will never bow to pressure. We respond only to respect. The choice is clear: escalation or diplomacy. The responsibility lies with those who broke their commitments and undermined international law. And thank you. Iran's position on snapback is clear. It is illegal, void, and has no standing. The E3, having breached the deal, cannot claim significant non-performance. Resolution 2231 restrictions will expire permanently on 18 October 2025. Any attempt to revive or extend them is null and void.
Meanwhile, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian has raised concerns over the potential for further strikes on Iran's nuclear sites, questioning who can guarantee whether Israel will not launch future attacks. Take a look.
We accept everything that we need to accept according to the international frameworks. But the problem is, who will give us assurances that Israel will not carry an attack independently in order to take out our installations? We have been members of the IAEA. We have been and continue to be signatories to the NPT.
More news coming in. At the United Nations General Assembly, Venezuela's Foreign Minister Juan Gil Pinto has now accused the United States of fabricating what he called vulgar and perverse lies to justify military threats against his country. Pinto told world leaders that Washington is attempting to bring war to the Caribbean and South America in order to push regime change in Caracas and seize Venezuela's vast oil and gas wealth. He's also denounced years of sanctions, destabilization attempts, and even a drone assassination plot against President Nicolas Maduro. Now, according to Pinto, Venezuela is a nation that loves peace but will always be ready to defend it. His remarks drew applause from the Venezuelan delegation as tensions between Caracas and Washington remain high. Well, due to paucity of time, this is all.